Hello students, welcome to this online course of Water Resource Engineering. So we have completed Kennedy theory. The numerical we have solved. We have seen the Lacey's theory, why it was required, what were the why due to flaws of Kennedy theory Lacey has tried to improve, and we have seen the various theoretical portion. So now today we are going to design the channel with the help of Lacey's theory, whatever we have covered till now. So this is the how we are going to design. So what will be the design procedure for channel design through Lacey's theory? Okay, so very straightforward steps are there. So first thing we have to do is we have to calculate the velocity by using this formula which was proposed by Lacey. This is V is equal to Q F square upon 140 whole raised to power 1 by 6. After calculating V, we have to work out the hydraulic mean depth, that is R. R was 5 by 2 V square by F. Now compute the area of channel section. How we are going to do that? Area will be Q, which will be given in the question, divided by the velocity calculated here. So Q by V will get the area. Now we can compute the wetted perimeter. The direct relationship is Q is given 4.75 root over Q. We will get P. Now finally we can compute the bed slope, that is F raised to power 5 by 3 whole divided by 3340 multiplied by Q raised to power 1 by 6. With the help of A and P, we can determine the various dimensions of the channel. Now let us see how we are going to do that. So this is the problem. Design a region channel for a discharge of 50 cubic and silt factor 1.1. Q is given and silt factor F is given by using Lacey's theory. So Q is given as 50 meter cube per second. F, which is silt factor, is given as 1.1. So the velocity is, what was the formula? Q F square divided by 140 raised to power 1 by 6. So Q is 50 multiplied by 1.1 whole square upon 140. This power 1 by 6. Okay. So it is coming out to be 0.869 meter per second. 0.869 or 0.87. Now area of cross section is Q by V. So Q is 50 by 0.869. It is coming 56.3 meter square. Okay. Now the wetted perimeter is 4.75 root over Q. So 4.75 root 50, it is coming 33.56 meter. Okay. Now the next quantity is hydraulic mean depth, which is 5 by 2 V square by F. So 5 by 2 0.869 upon 1.1. So R is coming out to be 1.675 meter. 1.675. For a trapezoidal channel with 1/2 horizontal to 1 vertical slope. So P is B plus root 5 y. This we have done in Kennedy theory, you can check. And a is b plus y by 2 into y. Okay, so p was 33.56, which is equal to b plus root 5 y, and area was 56.3, which is by plus y square by 2. Okay, so this is two equation. You can solve these two equations. Just multiply. This can be written as 33.56 y is equal to b y plus root 5 y square. We have multiplied y in this equation. So just subtract these two equations. By will get cancelled out. Only a quadratic equation is in y you will get. So from that equation you can get y as 1.65 meter. Okay, so if y is there, we can directly calculate b. B is coming out to be 29.77 meter. So these are the channel dimensions. Now the bed slope is f raised to power 5 by 3 upon 3340 q raised to power 1 by 6. So 1.1 raised to power 5 by 3 upon 3340 q was 50 raised to power 1 by 6. It is coming out to be 1 in 5420. So this is the dimensions of the channel, and this is the bed slope. So in this way you can calculate, or you can design the channel blade with the help of Lacy's theory. So this is Lacy's theory. Theoretical portion is little bit complex, but the numerical portion is very easy, because for every parameter Lacy has proposed a fixed formula. We have to just put the values and we can easily calculate the channel dimensions. So now we have completed Lacy's theory and Kennedy theory both. Now let us see what are the differences, how we can just have quick comparison of Kennedy's and Lacy's theory and improvement over Lacy's theory, because it is also around 80 years, 1939 I guess Lacy proposed that. So it is quite old theory. So in 1939, so around 80 years. So with passage of time, Lacy theory has also got some improvement. So what was the first point? The concept of silt transportation is the same in both the theories. So both theories validate the concept of silt transportation. Both the theories agrees that silt is carried by the vertical component of the eddies generated by the friction of the flowing water against channel surface. So when water is flowing through a channel, it will be resisted by the friction. The difference is that Kennedy considered a trapezoidal channel section, and therefore he neglected the eddies generated from the side eddies he neglected, which we have already discussed, on the presumption that these eddies has horizontal movement for greater part and therefore did not have silt supporting power. So he thought that his perception was like this, that due to the horizontal component, the eddies generating on the side slope will get neutralized and they are not helping in silt supporting power of the channel. For this reason, Kennedy's critical velocity formula was derived only in terms of depth. So V was 0.55, y raised to power 0.64. So the V is directly dependent on the y. On the other hand, Lacey considered that an irrigation channel achieves a cup shape or semi-ellipse, and that the entire weighted perimeter of the channel contributes to the generation of silt supporting eddies. So eddies, Lacey's consider that the side bed also will be contributing to the silt supporting power. That's why he has considered the weighted perimeter, not only depth. He therefore used hydraulic mean depth as a variable in his regime velocity formula instead of y. So this was the first difference between Kennedy and Lacey. Now let us see the second point. Kennedy stated all the channels to be in a state of regime provided they did not silt or score. So if a channel is not neither silting nor scoring, that means according to Kennedy it is in regime state. But Lacey differentiated between the two regime conditions, that is initial regime and final regime. This also we have learned in detail. According to Lacey, the grain size of the material forming the channel is an important factor and should need much more rational attention than what was given it by Kennedy. Kennedy has simply stated the critical velocity ratio varies according to the silt conditions. So the Kennedy theory was not giving much more importance to the silt, but Lacey related the grain size with his silt factor by the equation F is equal to 1.76 root over D in mm. The silt factor occurs in all those Lacey equations which are used to determine channel dimension. So you can just check the formulas. You will get F in every equation. The three fundamental equations proposed by Lacey, F was present there. So Lacey has given due importance to the silt factor or the silt size and silt charge. Silt charge, which will be directly, indirectly, will be depending on the silt size only. So the next comparison we can do, like Kennedy has used Coulthard's formula for determining the actual generated channel velocity. The value of Coulthard's rugosity coefficient n is again a guesswork. Lacey, on the other hand, after analyzing huge data on regime channel, has produced a general regime flow equation. So Kennedy directly said that okay, depending upon the channel, you can directly guess the value of n, which is not correct actually. So Lacey has done a huge data analysis and he has come up with the formula which we have already seen. Fifth point is Kennedy has not given any importance to bed width and depth ratio, B by D ratio, B by Y ratio. He has not given any importance. But Lacey has connected weighted perimeter as well as area of the channel with discharge, thus establishing a fixed relationship between bed width and depth. Sixth and the last point is Kennedy did not fix regime slope for his channel, although his diagrams indicate that steeper slopes are required for smaller channels and flatter slopes are required for larger channels. Lacey, on the other hand, has fixed the regime slope. So these were some differences. You are free to find your own comparisons or own differences. If you find any, just you can write in your notes. So this is the first part of the second unit. In the next unit we are going to see the divergent headworks and the design of subsurface structures and various seepage theories. The most important which we will be studying is Blake's creep theory and the Khoslas creep theory. So this is all for today. Thank you.